evening, and welcome back to the Unfiltered Political Lens. Tonight, we're talking about something almost everyone encounters at some point in their life: haters. Whether you're building a business, creating content, or pursuing a dream changing your life, or simply trying to improve yourself, sooner or later, you'll discover a difficult truth. Not everyone wants to see you succeed. The word hater gets thrown around a lot these days, but what does it actually mean? A hater isn't simply someone who disagrees with you. Disagreement is healthy. Debate is healthy. Constructive criticism is healthy. A hater is someone who seems emotionally invested in your failure. They don't just disagree with what you're doing, they resent the fact that you're doing it at all. Psychologists have identified several reasons why people develop these attitudes. One of the most common is envy. It is not simply wanting that someone else has, it is the discomfort people feel when contended with someone else's success, happiness, and confidence or progress. Instead of asking, how can I improve my situation, some individuals ask, how can I bring that person down to my level? It becomes easier to attack them and their success than to pursue it. Think about it. If someone is sitting still while another person is moving forward, the moving person becomes a reminder of what is possible. That reminder can inspire growth, but it can also create discomfort. Some people use that discomfort as a motivation, and others transform it into resentment. The hater often sees another person's achievements as evidence of their own shortcomings rather than the proof of what can be accomplished. Another powerful psychological factor is insecurity. People who feel uncertain about themselves often see ways to alleviate their own status. One shortcut is tearing others down. If they can convince themselves that someone else's accomplishments are meaningless, then they don't have to confront their own fears, failures, or unrealized potential. The attack becomes a shield that's protecting a fragile ego. Social media has poured gasoline on this phenomenon for most of human history. Criticism occurred face to face. Today, people can anonymously criticize strangers from thousands of miles away without consequences. The internet has created an environment where outrage is rewarded, negativity spreads rapidly, and the attention becomes a form of social currency. Some people discover that the criticism gets reactions, and the reactions are powerful to them. But what is fascinating is that many haters spend more time thinking about the people they dislike than the people they admire. They watch every post, they follow every update, and they monitor every mistake. They claim not to care while dedicating hours of their attention to the very person they claim to despise. And in psychological terms, this often reveals obsession disguised as criticism. Projection also plays a major role. Projection occurs when people attribute their own feelings and fears or flaws to someone else. Dishonest person may constantly accuse others of dishonesty, and insecure people may attack someone else's confidence. A person whose security wishes they had pursued a dream may mock someone who actually took the risk. The criticism often reveals the critic's internal struggle more than it reveals anything about the target. History provides countless examples of this pattern. Many of the world's greatest innovators, leaders, artists, and thinkers were ridiculed before they were actually celebrated. New ideas threaten established beliefs, and success challenges excuses. Progress exposes the complacency. Throughout history, people who dared to stand apart often attracted the criticism precisely because they were doing something different. There is also a tribal element to the human psychology. People naturally form groups based on shared beliefs, values, and identities. And when someone challenges those beliefs or achieves success outside the group expectations, they can become a target. And the hater is often defending a worldview rather than evaluating reality objectively. Their criticism becomes emotional rather than rational. Ironically, the haters often provide an unintended compliment. Most people do not spend their time attacking individuals who pose no influence, create no impact, and generate no attention. While the criticism alone doesn't prove success, persistent hostility can sometimes indicate that you become visible enough to matter. Nobody throws rocks at a tree that bears no fruit. And that doesn't mean all criticism should be ignored. Some of the criticism contains valuable lessons. Wise people learn to separate useful feedback from emotional hostility, and constructive criticism focuses on actions, ideas, and improvement. The haters focus on personal attacks, mockery, and and negativity. One helps you grow and the other seeks to discourage growth. But the real danger of haters is not what they say. The real danger is when people allow those voices to define their self-worth. If you measure your value by the opinions of strangers, you'll spend your life chasing approval that never arrives. But confidence is not believing everyone will like you. Confidence is understanding that they don't have to. Perhaps the most important thing to remember is that happy, fulfilled people rarely dedicate their lives to tearing down others. People who are building something meaningful tend to focus on their own goals. They may disagree and they may debate. They may challenge ideas, but they don't obsess over destroying other people. The chronic hatred often reflects the inner conflict, the unresolved frustrations, or their lack of purpose. At the end of the day, every successful person eventually faces a choice. Do you allow negativity to stop you, or do you use it as fuel? Do you become distracted by every critic, or do you remain focused on your mission? The answer often determines whether a person reaches their potential or abandons it. And the psychology of the haters teaches us something profound about the human nature. Their behavior is rarely about the target. More often it is about the fear, insecurity, envy, comparison, and unresolved personal struggles. Understanding that doesn't mean accepting the abuse, but it does provide perspective. Because when you realize that many attacks say more about the attacker than the attacked, you stop carrying burdens that were never yours to begin with. I want to thank you for tuning in to the Unfiltered Political Lens Monologue. If you've enjoyed today's discussion, please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment below and tell us, have haters ever motivated you to work harder, or have they taught you something valuable about yourself? Until next time, keep thinking for yourself, keep pursuing your goals, and don't let someone else's bitterness become your limitation. And as always, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.